The uniform syllabus to be implemented in schools this academic year directs the Madras High Court textbooks to be distributed within the next 4 days. A setback for Amma, but the Chief Minister decides to knock on the Supreme Court's doors and appeal against the verdict today. The CBI questions A. Raja and 3 others today before submitting its third supplementary charge sheet in the 2G scam, all to be questioned again next Monday. New panel to probe charges of corruption and land grabbing against Sikkim's Chief Justice P.D. Dinakaran in the impeachment motion pending in the Rajya Sabha. Freedom for Sun Picture COO may take longer than expected even as he gets bail in his second case. A third case keeps him put at the rural prisons. Tragedy strikes a closed factory in Puducherry. A gas leak claims the lives of 3 people and leaves 2 injured. The Supreme Court directs the state government and the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board to submit their objections on the assessment of Sterlite's plant at Kozhikode. And the CBI raids the offices of Paramount Airways in Madurai and the residence of the chairman as well. Financial irregularities being probed. Welcome to the Late Night News on NDTV Hindu with me, Evelyn Matthew. Let's also tell you what's been making news across the nation today. Gorkhas celebrate the autonomy pact signed for the Darjeeling Hills and a 600 crore rupee package, but disquiet in the plains. The use of human couriers, limited recruits and no cell phones. These terror tactics by 13-7 terrorists leave investigators clueless. Upset over an MS Dhoni ad spoofing him, Harbhajan Singh sues Vijay Mallya's UB group. Brazil knocked out of the Copa America. They miss all their penalties in the shootout against Paraguay. Our top story tonight. In what's a big blow to the 2-month-old AIADMK regime, the Madras High Court has asked the government to implement the common textbooks from this academic year. The court has said that the books printed under the uniform syllabus system should be made available to students before this Friday.
The Jayalalitha government's determination to postpone the implementation of the uniform system of education to the next academic year or later has come unstuck. The first bench of the Madras High Court on Monday has called the amendment introduced by the AIADMK government as an arbitrary piece of legislation.
2009 ஒரு பேரண்ட் ஆக்ட் முதல்ல கொண்டாந்தாங்க இந்த காமன் சிலபஸை பொறுத்தவரை அதை டிவிஷன் பெஞ்ச் மெட்ராஸ் ஹை கோர்ட் அது கரெக்ட்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. அப்புறமா அதுக்கு ஒரு மார்க் கருத்து சொல்ல முடியாது.
But the fight is far from over. We are told that the government is likely to approach the Supreme Court.
சமச்சீர் கல்வி திட்டத்தின் கீழ் தயாரிக்கப்பட்ட புத்தகம் பாடத்திட்டம் அவைகள் தரம் குறைந்ததாக உள்ளது என்ற அடிப்படையில் மாணவர்களுக்கு தரமான கல்வியை வழங்க வேண்டும் என்ற நல்ல நோக்கத்துடன் தமிழக அரசு கொண்டு வந்த சட்ட திருத்தத்தினை அது செல்லாது என்று சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்றம் அப்பொழுது தீர்ப்பு வழங்கியுள்ளது. அதனை எதிர்த்து தமிழக அரசு உச்சநீதிமன்றம் செல்லவிருக்கிறது. இந்த தீர்ப்பினை நிறுத்தி வைக்க கோரி 2 வாரங்களுக்கு நிறுத்தி வைக்க கோரியும் மனு தாக்கல் செய்யப்பட உள்ளது.
The 80-page judgment of the Madras High Court faults the Tamil Nadu government for reversing the decision of the earlier government. The judgment finds fault with the way the 9-member expert committee on the common syllabus went about its business.
The decision of the Madras High Court in the uniform syllabus case has come as a major setback for the AIADMK government. In fact, the court has ruled that the Uniform System Act was already ratified by the division bench of this court and also by the Supreme Court. The decision of the Tamil Nadu government to appeal against this verdict will only further delay the distribution of textbooks to over 1 crore school students. In Chennai, Peer Mohammed, NDTV Hindu.
Meanwhile, the DMK chief under whose regime the system itself was introduced has been quick to react. Karunanidhi said that the judgment is no failure and is a victory for the future generations.
எல்லோருக்கும் வழிகாட்ட முடியாது என்று சொல்லியிருக்கிறேன். இந்த அரசுடைய எடுத்துக்கொண்டால் அது அவர்களுக்கு நல்லது. எதிர்கால சமுதாயத்திற்கு நல்லது.
Well, my colleague Krishnamurthy scanned the city for reactions to the verdict today, and here's what he sent us.
According to me, the matriculation syllabus we feel to be the best. Here in uniform syllabus, the course inside the syllabus is nothing. So nobody, even an ordinary student, he will not be able to cope up with the common syllabus.
I want to talk about my matriculation. This quality of study will be very, very fantastic, and this will be this is easy to score very high marks. So I get more information around the world.
Actually, we are very happy with the judgment, because the judgment is in favor of a common syllabus system, and it goes against the government's efforts to revive the multi-syllabus system. As far as we are concerned, we were in favor of common syllabus system, because the multi-syllabi is rather promoting, perpetuating the social disparities in education that badly reflects on education. So education should be an equalizer that requires a common syllabus at the school level.
In matriculation we can study from basic what we have studied, we are continuing in that in 10th standard. So it will be easy. In Samachir Kalvi means it will take some time to pick up all to study. And physics, chemistry, botany, zoology we are going to write in combined. It will be difficult to us.
Then there are a few points that we would like to make very clear. One, there is a definite need to take a definitive decision, keeping the students in mind and the fact that they need to go along with their academic calendar. It is very important to take a decision. So from that point of view, we are happy a decision is taken. But we do question the methodology. For example, it's not Samachir Kalvi alone. There is a need, people have largely felt this need. There have been multiple syllabi, there have been multiple boards leading to confusion, and there is a need for one uniform syllabus.
Well, we were joined by a panel to discuss just this on the big question tonight, while A. Navneetha Krishnan, Advocate General representing the state government, said that the Madras High Court was in a state of misunderstanding this whole issue. NGR Prasad, advocate for the petitioner, as well as Mr. Gajendra Babu, have said that it was a better decision, better late than never. Mr. Gajendra Babu, the government is of the view that the High Court's decision is not legally valid. How do you respond to that?
The government has enacted the law, the amendment law 2011, without any deliberation, and the cabinet decision did not contain any material to show that it is substandard. Hence, the action of the government is illegal. It is not the judgment of the Madras High Court Division Bench.
Right. Just to come back to you, Mr. Navneetha Krishnan, for a while, the High Court has said that this Uniform System of Education Act 2010 had the approval of both the High Court and the Supreme Court. And now that's also what we've heard from Mr. Gajendra Babu. How do you respond to that counter?
And also by the Supreme Court. Wow. The Madras High Court has wrongly understood the earlier division bench decision with regard to the validity of the Uniform System of Education Act 2010. The earlier division bench of the Madras High Court has held that Tamil Nadu legislature has got a legislative power to enact a law to introduce uniform system of law. That's all, nothing more, nothing less. That doesn't mean that the subsequent government on a policy decision on taking note of the fact that the syllabus and the textbooks are not up to the level or are not having good standard, which are all substandard. Hence, the amended provision was introduced in this act.
What happens to that humongous 200 crore rupees spent on books? Do you believe it will actually reach students on Friday?
Yeah, now there is a direction of the Madras High Court that those books should be released immediately and the students should have textbooks. And secondly, if you want to effect any improvements, you can do it within a matter of 3 months. And students cannot go without textbooks. They have lost out nearly a month in this process, despite the High Court and the Supreme Court having dealt with the matter with great urgency.
Moving on. Former Telecom Minister A. Raja was questioned by the CBI for 3 hours today at the Patiala House lockup. The investigating agency also questioned former Telecom Secretary Siddharth Behura and Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group's Gautam Doshi. The CBI said it wanted to question the trio before filing its next supplementary charge sheet in the 2G spectrum scam. Sources say the entire questioning was focused on the Loop SR nexus, and that in its third charge sheet, it will mainly focus on these companies. The investigating agency believes Loop was a front for SR and is now trying to gather all possible evidence to corroborate that. All three have been in judicial custody since their arrest. Raja and Behura were arrested in February and Doshi in April this year. Now, senior correspondent with NDTV 24/7 Neha Khanna has been closely watching that story, and she spoke to us about the possible new entries into the third charge sheet.
We're expecting this charge sheet to be filed by the end of August or in early September, and it does seem now, from what we gather from our CBI sources, that charge sheet is going to focus almost entirely on the Loop SR nexus. Now, the CBI has maintained for a long time now, even in its status report submitted in the Supreme Court, that it has prima facie evidence to suggest that Loop is a front for SR. They had even dispatched a team to Mauritius to look into the role of 14 companies that are believed to be subsidiaries of Loop Telecom. And today, in fact, the CBI questioned former Telecom Minister A. Raja, former Telecom Secretary Mr. Siddharth Behura, in connection with the Loop SR nexus. We are told that they needed to be confronted with certain documents that the CBI had secured from Mauritius, and this was, of course, an attempt on part of the investigating agency to find out more details through which they can build a watertight case against these two telecom companies before they file that charge sheet towards the end of August.
In some state news, the Principal Sessions Court today has granted bail to Sun Pictures CEO, that is Mr. Hansraj Saxena, in the case filed by film distributor Shanmugavel. But looks like Mr. Saxena cannot really get out of the prisons just yet. In another pending case filed by film producer Hiteshwar Jatak on charges of threats and assaults, the proceedings of the case are still awaited. Hansraj Saxena was earlier granted a bail as well in another case that was filed by a Salem film distributor. The CBI today raided the office and the residence of the managing director of the Paramount Group, Mr. M. Tyagarajan. The CBI is reported to be probing alleged dubious financial transactions that the company was found to be indulging in. Just to remind you that the planes of Paramount Airways were deregistered last year, that is in 2010. Some tragic news from the Union Territory of Puducherry. The 3 people have died today after they inhaled poisonous gas at a factory in the region. A gas leak was in fact reported while workers were trying to dismantle a pipe at a closed factory. When we come back, walking down a lonely road and 2 conniving young guns looking fishy, well, you have every reason to panic. Find out why. That's when we come back.